To answer this question, you have to understand the idea of international trade. When we look at trade between countries, the first thing you got to look at is something called the balance of payments. The balance of payments is a record of all the transactions between one country and all the other countries in a given period of time. That's why D is not the right answer. Inside the balance of payments, there's two major accounts. There's the current account and the capital account, sometimes called the financial account. That's why E is not the right answer. Now, the current account includes things called factor income and other transfers, but the biggest part, the part that's really important, is the idea of the balance of trade. The balance of trade is a record of all the exports and imports of goods and services to a country. Balance of trade is the same idea as net exports. So this is the concept that you normally hear in the news, the idea of a country having a trade deficit or a trade surplus. A trade deficit is when a country imports more than it exports, and a trade surplus is when a country exports more than it imports. So as you can see, imports are considered a negative number or a debit towards the balance of trade. Exports are considered a credit towards the balance of trade. That's why the right answer is C. But let's finish this off. The capital account doesn't measure the trade of goods and services. It measures something different. It measures financial assets. This is the change in ownership of different assets and doesn't count towards GDP. This is all called the balance of payments because if a country has a deficit in the current account, it has to have a surplus in the capital account. So if a country like the United States has a trade deficit and therefore a deficit in the current account, then there's a surplus of inflow of capital coming in from other countries. So citizens of other countries will be buying our assets, like bonds or real estate. If you want more help with this, go to the unit menu page and click on video lessons. There's a video in there that better explains the idea of the balance of trade and the inflow and outflow of capital.